Am I basic or am I basic? Tastes pretty basic to me. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my experience meeting Kian and Jc. Just a disclaimer before the video starts, I'm very grateful that I was able to go. I spent all of my earned money on it, so I obviously wanted to go. If I don't fangirl, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. Doesn't mean that I don't like them. I like them a lot. I love their videos. I'm just not a huge fangirl over them. I just really like what they do and their humor, and they're cool guys. So if this makes any sense, I don't really fangirl over them because we kind of do the same thing. I mean, we both make YouTube videos. They just do it on a way bigger scale than me, obviously, and I kind of understand what they do more than just a viewer would, I guess. But being a fangirl is great. Like, go on, you scream at them, do whatever you gotta do. But that's just not why I went. So I was just letting you know a little bit of why I don't get, like, fangirly over YouTubers. And plus, I'm just telling you my experience so that if you go or if you're just curious, then you can know, okay? Like, you know what went on. So that's enough explanation, I think, for the year. So I bought tickets not that long ago. I got general admission for the show and premium VIP, which is the highest VIP you can get. There's just regular VIP, deluxe VIP, and premium VIP. The show I went to was in Atlanta on July 9th, which was a Saturday, which is good because, like, yeah, it's the weekend. Yeah, like, okay. At Center Stage, if you know where that is, if that's even relevant to you. So with the premium VIP I got, you hang out with them for 20 minutes, you get some merch, and you go to the meet and greet, and then after that you go to the show. I actually wore this shirt to the show. It's kind of weird that I'm wearing it now, but it's whatever. So the day of the show, I got ready and I was like, I guess I should go to the venue. I don't know how early I need to be there. So I got there around 3:30 because premium was supposed to be let in around 4:30. And when I got there, the line was so long. Like, it was so long. And I was like, not all these people have premium because only around 20 people out of everyone have premium VIP. So I was like, I guess I'll just wait in line for a little while, see if anyone calls for our VIP package or whatever. Around 4:15 comes around and I'm like, okay, maybe I should go to the front because we're supposed to be let in before everyone else. So I asked the two girls behind me, I'm like, hey, can you, like, hold my spot for me? And they're like, yeah. And so I walk to the front, and I see this group of people, and I'm like, are y'all premium VIP? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, hey. And they're like, hey. And we're like, oh, yeah. And so I stood with them, and I never went back to my spot, so they probably just held my spot the whole time. And so we waited in line, and it was hot. It was so hot that day. It felt like 100 degrees outside, and my makeup was melting off my face. Like, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm like, I was sweating or whatever. My face was turning into the shiniest thing you've ever seen in your life. I was like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be like glowy or whatever. No. It looked like a greasy tomato. Like, my face was an actual greasy tomato. So the premium VIP were in a separate line from the rest of the people, and the security or some guy came around and gave us all wristbands. And this is what they look like, in case you're curious. They're just these yellow wristbands. And the other VIP people got purple ones, but we got yellow ones. So we finally got let in around 5. There were about 20 of us. I think I already said that. And we all walked into the theater, and we stood by the barriers by the stage. And they were all already in there. Kian and Jc were in there. Dom was in there. I think Vitaly was in there. Ryan was in there part of the time. Harrison wasn't in there at all. I only saw him during the show, but that's fine. Apparently he was watching Shawshank Redemption. So, here comes the part that you probably want to know about. We walked in, we stood there. Kian came around to my side and sat down on the edge of the stage, and JC went and sat down on the edge of the other side of the stage. And we just like kind of chatted to them for a little while. I didn't really say much, to be honest. They asked us all our names. I was like, Maddison. I knew they were probably going to be tired because they'd been on tour for a while, and just, you're tired when you're on tour. But they really tried to make each person feel special, which I really appreciate because, you know, lots of people don't do that. So that's a really nice thing that they do. They treat you like you're the only person there when they're talking to you. It's really nice. So after they sat there and talked to us for a little while, Kian went over to sign some books that we were going to get, and JC went around to each person and talked to them for a minute. So I was about the fourth person in line, so I was about the fourth person he met. I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to like go with it, I guess. So he comes up to me and he's like, hey, the thing about this that I found really awkward, it was like everyone around you was watching you talking to them, which made me feel like really uncomfortable. I wasn't as nervous meeting them as I was seeing all of these people watching us talk, which, I mean, I understand that everyone wants to hear what they're saying, but I was just like, I don't know what to say in front of like all of these people. This is really awkward. When they came up to you, all eyes were on you. Like everyone was watching what you were gonna do. So we just have like the normal conversation, like small talk kind of thing. And then he goes, wow, I love your eyes. And I was like, thanks. Like that made me be like, oh my God, like I don't even care who it is. Just a guy saying that to you is just like no one has ever said that to me in real life before, except for my mom. I don't even care that it was JC, like famous YouTuber guy. But just the fact that someone told me that, I was like, wow, thanks. Like, they look like vomit, but thanks. Thanks, JC. And then we just kind of like looked at each other for a while. He was just like looking at me like, and I was like, and then after we were like awkwardly talking for a minute, I was like, oh, you're shorter than me, which I know that's like, you don't say that to a guy. Like, I don't know, like, okay, Maddison. But I was like, wow, you're shorter than me, because I didn't know what else to say. You know, like, it's an awkward situation. So I was like, you're shorter than me. And he was like, yeah, how tall are you? And I was like, 5'8". And he was like, well, I'm 5'8". And I was like, well, I'm still 5'8". So we were actually standing on, like, a platform, plus my shoes sort of had a platform. And so I was like, well, my shoes have kind of a platform, blah, blah. He like looked at my shoes like, awesome. That's why, cool. And then I was just like, cool, man. Cool. Just like, yeah. And then we took a few pictures. Some cute little selfies. They're all very nice. Cute selfies. And then after JC was done going around, Kian came around while JC signed books. Got even more awkward. Like, I'm so awkward. Kian came up to me and he was like, hey. I was like, hey. We had the same sort of just like normal combo. It was like a weird, I don't know how to explain this. But we just kind of stood there and we just kind of like looked at each other for a little while. Like we just like that's it. Like he just like was like, he was just smiling and looking at me the whole time, and I was just smiling and looking. Okay, by the way, they're both really cute. Around any cute guys, that's how I would act. So, so then we just kind of like talked for a minute, and then we took a picture. He like puts his arm around me and like leans his head on my head, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. They're both very good looking. Like, they have great skin. Actually, all of the famous people I've met have really good skin. This is really irrelevant, but when I met Liam Neeson, his skin was perfect. Like, he has perfect skin. Like, he does not even have that many wrinkles. Like, it's crazy. There went my phone. But anyway, then he goes to the next person. As he's going to the next person, he like puts his hand like right next to my hand, or like puts his hand like over my hand, and he goes like this. And he like marks my hand with a Sharpie. It was like a red Sharpie. It felt like when you're young and you're like crushing on someone and you're both like really awkward with each other. That's how it felt in a way, if that makes any sense. He marked me and he was like, "I'm so sorry." And I was like, "It's fine. Like, it'll wash off, so it's fine." It was like this on my hand. He like looked at my hand, and I had a bracelet on. I had this bracelet on. I wear this bracelet a lot. It says WWJD, which is like, what would Jesus do? Because, like, you know, main man up there. Sometimes you can only see like a couple letters from it. And he was like looking at my bracelet for a long time. I'm a very self-aware person. Like, I don't think something's happening to me when it's not. I'm a little too self-aware sometimes. Like, just letting you know, I'm a very self-aware person. If you don't believe me, then don't, but I am. Like, it's I don't know. I don't know, Maddison, like, what the crap. But, so he was looking at my bracelet, and I'm pretty sure you can only see the JD on it. Pretty sure he thought it was JC, or JC and Dom, or something like that, because I know this sounds far-fetched, but you had to have been there, because it was, I don't know. I feel like at that moment in time, I got fan-zoned so hard. Fan-zoning is not a bad thing. Being a fan of someone is great. But I felt like before that, they thought it was just like, chillin', cool, like, you're cool, you're not like freaking out, this is cool. Pretty sure they thought that bracelet was like some fan-made bracelet, like, oh my gosh, JC and Dom. It wasn't. It was a Jesus bracelet. Yeah, that's how that went. I'm finding it like really hard to explain all of this, but hopefully you're understanding what I'm saying. And I was also going to tell them about my YouTube, but it just didn't come up. And I felt like they wouldn't really care that much because I don't have as many subscribers as them. People probably tell them that all the time. So I was just like, we'll just not. And then after Kian went around to everyone, Dom came down. Dom's really short, bro. Like, really short. And then Ryan came down. Everyone thinks that girl in the background is so funny, and I didn't even notice when I was taking it that she was in the background or anything. They were all really nice. I just think they were really, oh man, come on, Maddison. They didn't seem like, yeah, like, we're so cool, like, we're so popular, like, all these girls are here for us. They were just like, cool. And then after that, we went to get in line for the actual meet and greet, where you get like the full body picture. I was the fourth person in line for the meet and greet, like straight after this, and I was like, whoa, okay, cool, we're gonna like do this again, okay, sweet. And so, as you can guess, the meet and greet was pretty awkward too, but Kian made it really awkward. Like, I was going in there like, I'm gonna be cool, and I like walk up to Kian, and I'm like about to try to give him a hug, like one of these, and he's just like standing there like this, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how to act right now. Like, what are you doing? What are you even doing with your life? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go over to JC now. So I like go over to JC to give him a hug instead, because Kian obviously doesn't want a hug even though he's playing around. And so I walk up to JC and I'm like about to give him a hug, and then Kian like pulls me like by my waist over to him and gives me a hug, and I'm like, sweet, like, thanks for that. And then I walk over to JC and give him a hug like that, They're like great huggers. I had my arms like this, and you can tell that I'm like really uncomfortable because like Kian's like pushing on me, and he's like, they both had their arms like around my waist, and Kian was like leaning like way in. I was like, dude, this is making my arm look funky. So we took a few pictures, and then I left. And then the lady gave me some merch as I was walking away, which made it even more like weird and awkward because I was like, okay, bye, I'm just gonna get some of your merch and leave. Peace out. I'll show you the merch we got. We got this poster. Ow, when you almost get a gnarly paper cut. Here's the poster. I think it's actually really cool looking. This is Kian and Jc World Tour 2016. And then we got their book, which they signed on the front. There's Kian's and JC's signature, so that's pretty cool. Book smells like a good book. Love that good book smell. This lanyard, which we didn't wear the whole time except for the show part, just says VIP on it. And then we got a t-shirt which says don't try this at home, and they're like on a roof or something. So after that we had to go outside the venue and get in line for the show. I was fourth in line to get into the show too. I was fourth in line the whole time, even though I didn't get there that early, so I thought that was pretty good. But it was because I paid the extra money for the premium. And while I was out there, I noticed that so many people were fangirling so much. Like I would see people walking out crying, bawling their eyes out after meeting them, screaming, like groups of girls. Sorry, I don't even know what's going on with my digestive system. So many girls were just like screaming, which I didn't really expect, you know? I thought it was gonna be more like just people that liked their videos, just got to hang out with them and meet them. But it was a lot different than I thought. So it was more like, it was like a One Direction concert. Like people were freaking out as much as I like a One Direction concert. So after that we got let into the show. I ended up being in the very front, in the very middle, front and center at the show. I'm not going to really talk about the show because you probably already know what they do in the show. There are videos of what they do at the show. It's a really great show. It's basically just seeing them hang out with their friends and talking about their YouTube and stuff like that on stage, doing challenges, singing their song, all that kind of stuff. Everyone was screaming so much and just like reaching their hands out like this, you know, like at concerts. And I was like standing there just watching because, I mean, I didn't feel like I needed to scream at them but I understood like everyone else screaming. That doesn't bother me at all in the least. Like I don't care. Like go right ahead and scream in my ears. I'm so used to that. I've been to concerts. Don't even care. But I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. It was weird. I don't know. I just am not at that fangirl part of it. I don't know. I don't know if it was a good or a bad thing that they were staring a lot, but I did have a really greasy face, so that's probably why it was just like shining back in their faces, like legit. In conclusion of this whole thing, I think it was a great experience, especially if you're a fangirl of them. If you really like them, then I think it's a great thing to spend your money on. Yeah, I don't have anything really bad to say about it. I just thought it was a really weird, in a good way, experience. They have some hardcore fangirls. The thing I got out of it the most, like for myself in a good way, it motivated me a lot more with my YouTube because it showed me how YouTube changed their lives so much and how happy they are now, or how happy they seem now. And I'm just hoping that someday I'll be able to do something like that sort of tour thing. Maybe, I don't know, probably not, but you know. And before I end the video, I just want to stress so much that if I don't sound excited or like happy, I promise you that I had a great time. I met some great friends there, and it was really fun. They're such great people, and they did this all for the fans. If you're going to the show, I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, I guess I'll see you soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this experience video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week. Have you seen Harrison's tweet? I want to know who he was talking about, because it obviously wasn't this greasy tomato.